Hey everybody, and welcome back to another week of FrumGuyCooking, where this week we're making French onion soup. Now this soup is a dairy soup, and since I am lactose intolerant, I will not be able to eat this soup. Therefore, I'm only making a very small amount, really just one portion's worth. If you want to get a sense of how to make this soup for multiple people, check out the recipe in the description below, which is set to yield 4 servings. As this is a French onion soup, you will need 3 types of onions: yellow onion, red onion, and sweet onion. Have these onions and chop up 1/2 of each into thin slices. These slices will be sauteed in butter, or in this case a butter substitute, to give it a real delicious oniony flavor without needing to use onion soup mix. Personally, I find that stuff to be toxic. Go ahead and melt a tablespoon of butter or butter substitute in a saute pan. Let it mix around so it gets nice and melted, and then go ahead and add all of your onions in. These are going to sit for about a half hour or so. You should stir them occasionally until they look something like this. Now that the onions have broken down and are almost syrupy in texture, go ahead and deglaze with some red wine. Firstly, because I've always wanted to say that, and second of all because we'll add a real rich flavor to this soup. What is deglazing anyway? The next step is to add 2 cups of chicken stock into the soup. This will form the bulk of the liquid that is in this soup. After that, add about a teaspoon or so of Worcestershire sauce into the soup, and sprinkle a little bit extra in if you're me and you like it to be very Worcestershire. Add half a bay leaf, a couple sprigs of fresh parsley, sprinkle on some salt, sprinkle on some pepper, and lastly sprinkle on some thyme. After the soup has boiled, let it simmer for about 10 minutes or so, and then go ahead and add a teaspoon or so of balsamic vinegar. Let the soup sit for another 10 to 15 minutes, and once it's developed this beautiful brown color, go ahead and remove the greens. This is especially important to do with the bay leaf, since bay leaves cannot be digested by humans. Let the soup simmer for another 10 minutes. While the soup is simmering, let's take care of the bread aspect of the soup. Take a small French baguette and slice off 3 or 4 half-inch slices. Throw these in a toaster or in the oven on broil until they have a nice crispy texture on the outside. Push 3 of the pieces together and cover it with a layer of Gouda cheese, about 2 slices worth, a layer of mozzarella cheese, nice little pile, then go ahead and shake some Parmesan on top, just a sprinkle, and lastly, add a couple of sprinkles of paprika before putting this in your toaster oven or oven on broil for about 5 minutes, or until the cheese gets beautifully melty and stretchy and gooey. Once this is done, ladle some soup into a bowl, and try to extract the bread, which is now stuck to the aluminum foil by the cheese, to top the soup with. It might take a couple of seconds and you might burn your fingers, but once you get it in, it's truly spectacular. Even though I didn't get to eat this soup, my wife assured me that it was delicious, and it sure looks amazing. Until next week, take care.